Hi everyone, welcome back, and we are here for 3AI U3 Summit. It's a unique 6 by 12 AI event. For the ones who have missed, let me talk about that this is an anthology series format. 14 speakers come together, talk about three different themes, different narratives. More importantly, in a 6 minutes or a 12 minutes format, they're either bringing up their slides or are talking impromptu. But the whole aspect of this entire event is to actually make AI as the rallying cry for the organization. For that, I think this is the best, I would say, forum for you to learn, absorb, and really see what the leaders have to talk about. We've already covered 4 sessions. We would be introducing our, rather, my bad, we have covered 3 sessions. We'll be introducing our fourth speaker of the day, and that's Shubhrato Ghosh. Shubho, as he's fondly called, is the data analytics and actuarial head for Allstate India. Let me give a brief about Shubho. Shubho is a business leader with rich and relevant experience in sales, enablement, solution design, and delivery across services offerings like analytics and big data, AI and intelligent automation, outsourcing, business consulting, solution design, IT application, and functional asset management. Shubho would be talking for 12 minutes, and he would be talking about a very specific theme called AI First Insurer. Over to you, Shubho.
Good evening, everyone, and it's great to see such enthusiastic audience here today. Today, let us talk a bit about AI first insurer. While one may say that AI and AI-driven automation is hyped, overhyped, etc., yet it is a hard reality that is hitting and changing industries across the board. Insurance is not only not immune to such change, but it must react to that change in a slightly different way than others. The reason I am saying that is typically the industry has been slow, or rather slower than its brethren in the BFS or retail or other sectors. But today, the core of insurance is changing. The reason is that the subject matter of insurance itself, that is the asset or the life that it insures itself, is getting AI embedded in its very definition. Today, we are not just insuring a human life or a home or an automobile. We are insuring connected person, connected home, a connected car. The whole definition of demand for products as well as the services around those products are changing towards a more responsive model. Let me talk about a 4I model for AI first insurer. This is my personal opinion, of course, and that is how I see the whole insurance industry should be gearing up or reacting to this towards the adoption of these changes and embedding AI into its core and its business model. These I's are interface, integration, intelligence, and instant. Typically, any legacy carrier had few solid challenges: low customer touchpoint, complex and non-innovative products, siloed and detached customer experience, which essentially emanated from the siloed and detached systems and data at the back end. All these led to the lack of product differentiation, complex processes, lower customer satisfaction, and eventually higher cost, which resulted in higher premiums being charged to the customer. And customer is becoming more and more price sensitive, more and more demanding, more and more demanding in terms of both right product as well as better service. Now the AI first insurer will have to embed all these four aspects of I, as I explained. Let me start with the integration piece, which essentially means two kinds of integration to enable as well as embed AI. First, recognizing life today is extremely integrated. Just to consider a simple example of an injury at a work from home scenario. We are all working from home, right, for the last at least couple of years. Now, would that injury be covered under a home insurance policy or a workplace insurance? Secondly, the inward integration piece, where core processes like underwriting and claims exist, they have been traditionally quite siloed, except for at the table of an actuary. They need to be tightly integrated with the data at underwriting stage as well as claim stage, feeding into each other and helping information and reactions and responses to the customer in a much more intelligent way. And that integration and that uh, feeding into each other has to be much more frequent than before. The other piece of integration is the system and data, which I talked about right a bit earlier, that about the siloed system. They need to be much more integrated to give an authentic and single source of truth about the customer and the assets covered. The second I is the intelligence. Now, insurance at core has been a data driven business in terms of manufacturing of its products or even the pricing piece, right? It is all about the actual tables and the actual calculations, etc. But that intelligence needs to move much beyond these core processes or these products and pricing to other processes such as marketing, sales, customer service, etc. Even these products also must leverage analytics, machine learning, deep learning, AI to become much more relevant and personalized using that intelligence. Today we are talking of micro intelligence in that sense that the understanding of the risk needs to be much more granular to translate into micro insurance or just in time insurance. The third and fourth is the interface and also the instant piece, and they perhaps go hand in a way. Let me explain. On the interface part, we must recognize that insurance has been a low touch point business, but it also has been a very human dependent business. Traditionally, we always refer, the moment the word insurance comes to our mind, another word quickly comes to our mind where or tags along is an agent. That means insurance agent. So starting from being insurance being explained or sold by an agent to the complex interaction of the claims adjuster or surveyors when there is a claim, customer has not been pretty happy with the way things have been sold or things have been explained or the understanding of those complex products. Today's customers live in an age of instant gratification. They would not like to spend a lot of time understanding complex products and want to get done with the processes in a much faster and on demand way. So the interface should always be available, thus bringing us to an era of chatbot and virtual assistants when human timing cannot be accommodated, and that too through multiple channels. And that is why the customers, would demand a kind of interaction which is just informing or just catering to their asks and needs rather than trying to that sold part of insurance which has traditionally been attributed to the insurance business. And why just customers? Even internal employees need much smarter interfaces and information on demand to cater to this world of instantaneous customer. Instant here, of course, means both the speed of business as well as the availability. All in all, an AI first insurer cannot focus on just one aspect of his business. Within the constraints of limited resources and budget, it needs to wisely choose between its priorities. But whatever be the adoption and implementation plan, it must consider all these aspects as I explained through this 4I model to draw up its plan. Because insurance is not only changing, it is becoming more and more embedded into the lives of it and the assets, because the risk factor, be it the climate change, be it the economic uncertainties, as we call in the VUCA world, right? The uncertainties are increasing. And therefore, the way we have looked at insurance, I mean, who knew that just 2 years back that the world will come to standstill with pandemic? And tomorrow's, focus is on the climate change. Today, countries are moving their capitals from one city to another. Just imagine the impact it is having on businesses like insurance. It is not just banking that the money can be moved from one to another, and it is anyway in a notional way it is there. But here we are talking of real physical assets. Whether a person, or a city which is at the coast is becoming more and more dangerous in terms of or more risky in terms of the safety of its assets and lives, to other locations which are perhaps safe from the rise of the water level, but due to climate change may be becoming more, hotter or colder, and therefore again causing or increasing the risk on the lives and assets. So insurance has to constantly delve and use AI to become the insurance of the future. And that is what I personally feel, that AI first insurer needs to bank on the traditional foundation it has built, which is very solid, and adopt the the computing power, the algorithms, and the data points that are available in plethora, all kinds, whether it's geospatial, whether it's our, live data through our wearables, or connected cars, connected homes, vehicle, driving behaviors, and then comes automated, the autonomous cars, etc. So the whole data points of an insurer to do its business is changed. And then for that, the AI first insurer has to choose its step very wisely, because again, the resources are limited, budgets are limited, and one must be prepared for the future as future unfolds. And with that, I hope you enjoyed the talk and it made sense. And thank you for listening to me. Uh, have a good day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.
Thank you, Shubho. And that was Shubho talking about AI First Insurer. Just to give a brief recap, I think one of the great point what he made was this whole value chain of insurance, whether it's an auto or a life or a commercial uh, or a PNC kind of an insurance. Every part of the value chain is getting embedded with AI, and the impact is very significant and transformative, which actually will reimagine the entire industry as a, I would say, as a segment all to put together. And thank you so much for your time, Shubho. It was a great talk.